hearing us.
You need to be louder. Scream if you want me to. See, I guess I can't hear you.
Yeah, I know.
Try.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Oh, no, you're never supposed to say yes when you're asked that question. I want to thank you all for coming and supporting the Bouse Friends of the Library and our library as well. This is such a great turnout, it's unreal, and we really appreciate it. And we do have some guests here that we'd like to let you know. We have Carrie Ann Nolter here with us. I will say a few words. We have Ruthie from the Parker Library. It's been a long time. So she's going to help us celebrate as well. We are going to have the hat contest, so be prepared. What I'd like to do is have all the friends of the library that worked for like 18 hours each to put all this food together and the decorations, and I'd like them to stand up and be acknowledged, and we can applaud you for all your work. Come on. It takes a lot to get it together, I can tell you that.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does.
And for those of you who may or may not, we do have a new library manager. Her name is Janelle Carberry. And so last year I gave you my rendition of what happened moving to Bouse and how the library started. And what I want to do is turn it over to Janelle so she can talk, maybe, in a minute or two. I think everybody wants to come and join us. I want to thank Lisa Blair and her husband Chris for all the hard work that they did putting this together as well. She's a wonder, and she makes sure that the ladies are compliant with all the laws now. So we appreciate it. So I'll turn it over to Janelle. Thank you.
Yes, Jane needs to be.
So like she said, my name is Janelle, and I have been at the library as the manager since November full-time. It's been a fun experience. I was part-time prior to that, so I knew a little bit about the library. But getting into the manager role has been an experience, and I'm learning a lot. And these girls certainly helped me out with fundraising. As you know, the county budget is not a very big budget for the library. Little budget, we should say. Basically, the county budget covers my wages, my benefits, and then I have a part-time employee, and it covers her wages also. So there's not really much money in there for anything else for the library. If you haven't been to the library, I suggest you come in and visit us, even if you just pop in to see what we have. We have lots of books. We have large print, fiction, nonfiction. We have DVDs, computers for everyone to use. If you need to use a computer, we've got the Wi-Fi. But just pop in, see what we've got, see what we're about. If you don't have the Libby app, we do offer that to people who have a library card. So if you don't have one, you can get a library card. And with the Libby app, you can use either a Kindle or your phone and do audiobooks. So if it's a book we don't have in the library, we might have it on Libby, and you can download it, read it on your Kindle. Or if you're like me that drives to Sloan 2 days a week, you can listen to an audiobook when you're driving. So come in and see us, and we can help you with that. I just want to thank everybody here that has done so much work, and all of you guys for being here. Because without your support, I mean, the ticket that you purchase, any donations we get, whether it be monetary, the books that people donate to our bookstore, you know, we have those every Friday, and that's another big fundraiser that we do is the bookstore. So the help that you guys give us is funds that go to the Friends of the Library, which helps me buy DVDs and books for the library. So I really want to say thank you for everyone who does donate and help that way. The other thing that they help me with is the summer read program. If you haven't been here through the summer, we do a summer read program for our kids. We'll do one here in Bouse and one also in Salome. So usually here we have about 20 students that come to the summer read program. In Salome we have about 60 kids that come. So Salome is a little bit bigger. But a lot of people, including the friends, volunteer and help with that program. But a lot of funds that they raise help me with the entertainment and stuff that we do for the kids during the summer. So if this year is Adventure at Your Library, so it's kind of a wide topic, but I was hoping to get in any presenters or anyone that has maybe a different career path that they'd like to kind of relate to the kids about. So, of course, if you're an astronaut, we'd love somebody like that, but we might not hear about how many astronauts. But even I was thinking like a dental hygienist, somebody that could come in and talk to kids about their teeth, even if you're retired. Any position that you might have had, if you think it's interesting that the kids might like to know about different jobs and what is available out there. Because a lot of our kids don't know anything. They haven't gone to Las Vegas, or they haven't gone to California, or even anywhere else. So, oh, we have a chicken. Sorry. Is that your phone?
That's my phone. I'm sorry.
That's good.
That's okay. I don't mind chickens clucking at me, so that's fine. So even if you have not done anything that you think is worthwhile, please stop in the library, let me know, or if you have a neighbor that might have an interesting career that you think the kids might be interested in hearing about. It's just good for them to see that there's a world outside of Bouse. So any ideas, bring them into me. I'm in Bouse on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I'm in Sloan on Mondays and Tuesdays, but always feel free to stop in. But again, I just want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank all the donations, all the money that comes in and is raised helps me tremendously with all the programs that we have at the library. I'd like to do a few more things as long as, well, down the line as far as like computer courses. I know a lot of people come in and ask me about computer courses. That's a little bit difficult because everybody's on a different level of where they are with computers. But if you have any suggestions, anything you'd like, hopefully we can get a master gardener to come down and talk to people maybe once a month. So any ideas that you guys have, feel free to come in and ask me and I'll see if I can get that set up. So again, thank you everyone for being here. You know, the money that you guys help raise is just tremendous for the support for the library. So thank you. We're getting ready to set up the first little bit, the main appetizer. So I think they have everything marked as far as what it is. Both tables are the same, is that correct, Bev?
Yes, and there's a gluten-free at the end of each one that's on a gluten-free cracker.
So there's a gluten-free cracker at the end of the table. Do you know what everything is, or am I okay to talk? Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Thank you. So both tables are the same, so you can go on either side of a table, and again, the gluten-free cracker is at the end if you need that. Also, we have the different teas that we have. We've got peach is in the first pot. The salted caramel, which everybody loved last year, is in the next pot. The third pot is just plain water, and then we have some green tea and generic tea bags there if you don't like either of the other two that we have. So we also will be having a hat contest. So somebody will be going around kind of judging the hats, and a couple people thankfully donated a few gifts, so we'll be having maybe a costume contest too with that. And then, oh, the tea, I forgot already. So if you were lucky enough to sit at a chair that has the ribbon on it, look around and see who it is. Oh, there's the baby. So this is you. So you're the tea mom for the table.
You're the tea mom.
So your job is to keep the teapots filled for your table.
I thought it was going to be
That's why I kind of dodged it.
So we only have 2 teapots at each table. And got the 2 kinds, so I don't know if everybody wants the peach, fill both of your pots with peach. But if some want peach, some want caramel, do 1 pot of each. And there is, yes, hot water if you want plain tea. The last thing I need to bring up is under one of the candles, there should be a number. Is there a number under that candle? So if you look under one of the candles, there should be a number on a piece of paper. That's your table number. So when she calls up certain tables to come dish up, that's your table. So
We're kind of at the end.
You should have been
it's your
first.
turn to come up.
Oh, good. 9 and the tea. Got our table, didn't we?
Yes.
So if the tea moms would like to come up and fill the pots first.
Hello.
Hello.
Say cheese.
How many's here? Julie.
Huh?
How many's here?
We sold 80 tickets. Say cheese. Over here. Say cheese. Cheese. Say cheese. Say cheese. Cheese. Oh, are you recording that? Yeah. Say tea. Yeah, you guys might win a prize. Say cheese. Tea. Hi. Say tea. And how are you girls today?
We're so happy to see you here.
Say tea.
All of this food was made and prepared specially for you with loving hands. So I hope you're enjoying it. And I am Kathy Beasley. I've been with the Friends since 2006, and it has been a wonderful journey. And I have the pleasure of introducing to you someone who many of you know, but this person comes from way back before I think we even had a library.
Right.
And I want to introduce to you Ruthie
Davis.
Davis. Ruthie, could you come up?
Hello, I'm Ruthie Davis, born and raised Parker, Arizona. And I was a grave digger for the town of Parker for 4 years, and I fell in a gopher hole, and they told me I was an insurance risk and I couldn't work heavy duty equipment anymore. And the only opening they had was in the library. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, I cuss like a sailor. I've never read a book. I read Playboy magazines with the guys. I said, and you want me to go in the library with a bunch of old women? And he told me, well, Ruthie, that's the only opening we have, and you've been with us for 10 years, so you've got, you want to stay. So I went. And I started at a little children's desk. They put my big old body in this little children's desk. Was the only place they had. And I started cleaning the place and started working. So I went from the bottom up. Thank you, Jesus. After that was in April of '93, I started with the town. So in '96, the end of '96 is when I went to the library, and I started getting terrible migraines. The library was very, very old. It hadn't been, of course, no money, because it's not a money maker. And so because of my background, I started cleaning windows and pulling carpet and showing the ladies that, you could change this. You don't have to keep it like this. We can do it ourselves. So they had a friends group. Most of them were 70 and older at that time. And they helped us. Their husbands helped us. I mean, we got in there and we painted shelves and we did all kinds of things. Then the opening came for the bookmobile. the lady that was the librarian, she was there 31 years, and she retired. And so the bookmobile driver, Jana Ponce Wolf, she has several names now to her added. Anyway, she became the library director. And so that opening came, so that was my out. I got out of there and I started driving the bookmobile. And I started driving the bookmobile in '89, and I started coming to Bouse. And all over, so I increased all my routes. She didn't put a thumb on me, where the other librarian would only let her do so many routes. She had 10 routes, that was it. I ended up having 32 routes, and I did it 12 and a half years.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I went to several places here in Bouse, and that's how I got to know Betty Manfreda and Jack, as I went to the school. So I went to 10 schools in the county. And so I got to know several of the ladies, and they were very interested in getting a library. So I went back and I told my boss, I said, Bouse wants a library, and they're wanting to get the school to open up, since it's closing down, they got their new school, they want a room there, what do we do? So we started talking to the county supervisors at that time. So anyway, Anthem, Arizona, which is about by Paradise Valley in Phoenix area, they got a construction company to give them $100,000 for new materials for their library. So Janice said, what are you doing with your old books? We've got a town that wants books. So I took my bookmobile, I drove there 3 different times. I loaded that bookmobile from the front to the back, top to the bottom, and brought them over here. And the county let us put them in the cafeteria. I wish I would have known about this earlier. I would have brought some pictures and we could have had a little slideshow, because it was packed. I mean, I had that place packed. 3 times I went to there and picked up books for you guys. Then I turned around and took a truck and trailer back and got the balance of it. And the volunteers at the time, the Friends group, I made an Excel spreadsheet, taught them how to catalog books, what to look for, what we needed on there. And when I wrote a grant to get software for all the libraries, I got them to start cataloging books. And the Friends group for you guys have changed several times, as for Parker. People come and people go, and people get tired and retire and don't want to do things anymore, or don't agree with what the librarian wants. So it changes hands many times. But Bouse, gosh, our first book sale was a lot of work. We had to take the boxes, we had to set up tables. We borrowed tables from the Booster Club. They let us have all their tables. We set them up outside. We had a big old book sale out there. That was before ever the building was even thought about to have your bookstore in. So Bouse gave me the idea to get Parker when I became manager in 2010. County decided they wanted to close the bookmobile down. That's when they were down $9 million in the hole and had all kinds of issues. And I said, my little $125,000, I mean, that sounds a lot, that's a lot of money, but anyway, $125,000 it takes to run this bookmobile. I go 1,300 miles a month. I see over 40,000 people in my month. How in the world are you gonna close this down? Do you know what that's gonna do to the county? I gave them numbers, I gave them everything. They didn't care. I told them I went to 10 schools that don't have book budgets. I gave them everything, but they closed it down, August 18th of 2010. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm out of a job, because my salary was paid by the county, even though I was a town employee. So then it turns around and I thought, hey, I'm not too proud, I'll scrub toilets, I don't care, I need a job. I got kids and grandkids to support. So they offered me the job of manager, and I'm like, what? I mean, I have terrible English. I don't know how to spell. I mean, you know, I'm just a worker. I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff. Anyway, I ended up making 32 grants in my 10 years of being manager, and all of them passed except 2. And it wasn't because of something I did, it was because they just didn't have enough funding to go around. And that's how Bouse Public Library got their first set of computers. All the computers that were, well, I haven't been there a long time, but all the computers that were on the side, the kids' computers on the teen side, those were all from the grant that I wrote, because to me, we're all libraries. None of us make any money, so why only write a grant for me? I mean, why not write it for everybody? So all the schools, Quartzsite, elementary, Quartzsite library was in the grant. Salome, Wyndon did not want to be in it, so okay. But I got everybody in there, and I was very proud of getting the computers for everybody. It was just wonderful. We were all so happy. And then, of course, we had to fight the internet. But you guys got through that too. So that's who I am. That's why I'm very proud of you guys to help, because libraries aren't a moneymaker, and the county supervisors have always nickel and dimed. They always have, they always will. And so your support really helps the libraries, not just this one, but yours, I'm sure, wherever you all live too. Am I supposed to say something else? Okay.
Thank you so much, Ruthie, for joining us. What a pleasure, what a blessing to have. She just decided yesterday, she called Bev and told her who she was. She didn't tell her everything. Bev just thought she was the bookmobile lady. I said she was a lot more to that, to us at that time. You know, we didn't know way back. I didn't. I was here in 2006, so we're just so thrilled to have her here and give us all that history. A lot of it I didn't even know, and I've known you since 2006. So it's just wonderful. And then we all of the Friends of the Library want to give you guys a huge thank you for coming today and being brave enough to come here with this impending weather. And if I hear a lightning strike, I'll speed it up. And you all look so beautiful in your finery, and those who are just happy to be here. And we just want your beautiful, smiling, happy faces. And because you're all attending, as you've heard, that because of you, we'll go on and flourish that much longer. Everything you can do for us, join the Friends if you'd like. If not, you can certainly give us an hour here, an hour there. We love your help anytime. As you know, this town is the town of volunteers. So we'll take anything we can get at any time. So, and then again, we're grateful for your support. I'm having to improvise because we had so much new, helpful information from our guest. And I told you before, you know, I love this organization. I joined in 2006, just not even knowing where it would go, but I have met the most wonderful people in Bouse, as you all who live here know that. We're all here for each other at all times. There's some of us that stay home more often, but boy, when we get out, we've got wonderful people to hang around. So the library became a huge place for people to join and get information. We have the biggest DVD collection in any library because we would get DVDs for our little townspeople here. And before that, we had videos because, you know, this was like, what, 2003 or so and earlier. but they still had video players around here, all of our people that lived in Bouse, and so we did videos forever. And then we had a storm, and we had a leak on the roof, and it got mold down into those DVDs and a lot of the westerns, and we lost a lot of stuff that year. The insurance helped take care of that, but of course, you don't get videos back. So with whatever we had left or people would donate at that time went to the book sales. And the DVD collection, back to that, we would get theater to DVD movies that otherwise, you know, the people around here wouldn't be privy to because they didn't have access to the internet or any of that, you know, to get them ways to entertain themselves, which we know in Bouse we need entertainment for a lot of these people. But now we'll go back to the books, and as Ruthie was saying, they had to drag those books. This library was a schoolroom, or a whole school for elementary.
Yes.
And they were able to turn it into the library rather than tear it down. That was kind of where they were going, and they made it work. And it is what you see today, magnificent as time goes on. Now we'd take these books. Jane we had storage in that building next to the library, which is no more, it's gone. But we had storage in that for years, and we'd have to drag those books in boxes on dollies all the way, let's see, in that building right next door. That was the Bouse Community Building. We'd drag all those books in, and most of us had to do it. There are very few men that in this little town that didn't have bad backs. So we did it. We had a little bit of help occasionally from guys, but which was wonderful.
Do you remember I bring the trustees from the jail?
I was gonna just say
Oh,
the
yes.
trustees.
Trustees from the jail, I bring them from Parker.
This little library's been through all kinds of interesting situations, where, as Ruthie was saying, they would bring the guys from jail, the guys that were trustworthy,
Right,
that weren't gonna
trustees.
run away.
Yeah.
They'd bring the trustees over here, and they'd go in and fix the walls or shelves or whatever we needed. And some of them were a little, you didn't know where they were going with their thoughts, but
They love the food.
they loved the food. They got fed and taken care of, so they really enjoyed that. But so back to that bookmobile, our book sale that we kept having, and Jane was like, Jane was a past president for us, Jane Albert, and well, I'll have her stand in a moment. But she.
Let her say a few things too. She's a woman.
Oh yes, I want her to say just not a lot, Jane.
Of course.
But anyway, so Jane said we gotta do something with that building over there. We've got to make it viable. Is that correct?
That's
We've
right.
got to make it viable so that we don't have to move these books anymore. Okay, so that was her baby. She wanted that done, and she went to the county. I'll try to say this correctly. And she told them, you know, we really need that. We need that building. And they're like, mm-hmm. They guffawed about it. They balked about it. And Jane says, well, you can say no, but you'll have a riot. You'll have a riot in Bouse. You'll have ladies. And on walkers, you'll have ladies in a motorized chair. And you're going to have to provide food for them and shelter. They relented. So Jane got her. They improved that building, right, Jane?
Yeah.
So they improved that building, and we were able to then make it into a really nice bookstore for selling books.
Right.
Which was another one of our good fundraisers, and it's still going today. And I'm happy to say they took that building away, but it's being replaced with a brand new bookstore. Provided by the county from a grant. It's from a grant.
Yeah.
But, So they should be starting next week, I would say.
I think it is next week they're gonna
Yeah.
start.
So
Uh-huh.
That's what we
Yeah,
also
it's-
have to look
It is
forward
exciting,
to.
yeah.
There's just so much stuff, guys. But with our, let me see, with our guest here, we had lots of good information you got to hear. Bear with me.
You what? Oh,
If there's anything interesting that I have forgotten. Oh, it was a volunteer library. The Friends ran the library.
yeah, because I ran the library for quite a while.
Yes.
Till we could get
Part-time.
somebody. I had no
Part-time
idea
Nikki.
what I was doing.
And then
Check out
Nikki
books.
Mackey became our library manager, but 50 hours of volunteer work for a long time. I don't know if it was years or just a year or two before she actually got a salary. So they finally gave Nikki a salary, and then we got her as a paid employee. And later, I think we had an extra a paid
Part-time.
employee after that, part-time. But and then Ruthie was the one, and she
Trained.
and Ruthie became. Did you become the director?
Yes.
Ruthie eventually, this little lady who said, me? She became the library director. So she took care of all of us in the best way possible.
Oh, thank
So
you.
there's just, as I say, there's just so much good stuff going on at our library. And I again encourage you to join us and help us whenever you can. And you are helping us just by being here. So thank you for helping us with this fundraiser. We really appreciate you. And I want Jane wanted to just say a little bit for us.
No. Thank you, Kathy. This table here is all of my friends from my street that I live on, Frame Avenue. So anyway, this is my neighborhood. Okay, all right. Mary, I do see you. Mary's helped with a lot of our teas. So anyway, but it is great to see so many people here. Heather was one of our great, Heather Hula, would you please stand up? You made one of the best librarians. Gee, I got you married, didn't I, Heather? So, but we've had a lot of good gals that have been librarians for us that stepped in. And I am just so thrilled about this new bookstore. You can't really even hardly talk about it because the contractor that we have let us all be a part of it. And so we could put our ideas in so that we can make it work. So we think that's gonna be, I think probably next year by now, it'll be up and going. Yeah, so that'll be great. Yeah. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's so great to see all of you, and a lot of new friends and a lot of old friends. So I've been around the circle, the block. Yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and have dessert.
Would you like some dessert? Come on up.
I live in Bouse, 100%, on Mountain View Road out
Okay.
since 2008.
And we bought property down just off on 42.
Did you? Welcome. We're probably was.
See you. I know. You could not even recognize me.
I know. Oh.
Want money from us, but you're not gonna let us sell our books. And then I got to pick out some. So the first one is the most creative, and I picked a cactus. And vintage hat, I put it down, Parker, Arizona cowboy girl. I don't know anything about English, but the most fancy hat that I saw was the lady over here with the green and the gray.
Chocolates and this is this thing, which would you like?
Not that, because I brought that.
Okay, there's dark chocolates and this little thing, and I'm gonna let you pick which one.
And then the last one, it says most funny and silliest. Well, I picked the lady here with the bird on her head. Cards, race cards on her head, and everything. Those are the three I picked. Thank you.
Okay, all right.